These tenants to figure out where they're going to go next, and leaving the city of Grand Haven scrambling to figure out how they're going to solve this problem.
So many things we're dealing with in a waterfront community. This is just one more of them.
After mold was uncovered inside one of the suites at Chinook Pier in Grand Haven this past summer, the urgent question became, what to do now?
So it wasn't traumatic public health exposure of any kind. It was just background mold that ought to be dealt with. And so with vacant buildings there, we started looking at the expense involved with doing the remediation.
Until that discovery, a dozen businesses called the pier home. The city of Grand Haven acting as their landlord after purchasing the buildings from a private owner in 2004.
We've had those buildings there for 40 years and never had this before. Now, because the river water comes up, so does the groundwater underneath these buildings, and it came up and got into the crawl space and created the mold.
Small amounts of mold were found throughout the two main buildings on the pier. Since then, city manager Pat McGinnis says they've been working with the tenants to find them space elsewhere in the city to reopen their doors.
They were a little bit unhappy, many of them. This is their livelihood. There's a dozen tenants, so we're not talking about one or two.
So far, McGinnis says they've made plans to move 5 of the businesses into this space, the historic Depot building.
So the city's doing what we can to help, but we're technically not on the hook. Neither are the businesses. They don't have to pay the lease anymore.
The City Commission will meet Monday evening to discuss plans moving forward. McGinnis reminds everyone that no final decision has been made yet, and they are still open to all options.
It's something that we need to take care of it, and the cost to take care of it is probably more than what the buildings are worth. So City Council is going to have an interesting 2020. The reality is that you can't argue with mold. You can just take care of it.
Now, the city says come summertime, you should be able to find all your favorite businesses at different locations throughout the city. Just remains to be seen where. For more information about Monday's meeting, check out our web article at fox17online.com. For now in Grand Haven, Michael Martin, Fox 17 News.
All right, Michael, thank you. A family devastated by the loss of their teenage son and doing what they can to keep his memory alive.
He was killed in a car crash last March, but now they have set up a scholarship fund in his name. Our Lauren Edwards joining us live after speaking with his mother about it today. Lauren?
Derek and Janice, we did get to speak with the mother earlier today over in Battle Creek. And of course, she misses her son daily, but she says that she's grateful that she gets to share his legacy in this way.
He was really talented. Anything he tried to do, he just was naturally good at it.
For Julia Fuller, not a day goes by when she doesn't think about her son, Ty.
He was an awesome welder. He won state competitions for welding. He had a full-time job with a 401k.
Then on one snowy day in March 2019, Fuller says Ty went out to play video games with friends and never returned home. She says his car spun out and hit some trees in Calhoun County.
I was the second one there, and so I had to, call the family members, but it was shocking for all of us because, really he was a good kid.
Ty was just 19 years old. Fuller was devastated, but she eventually used her pain to help keep the memory of her son alive, creating a scholarship in his name for kids who love welding and other trades.
We're really just looking for students that are very passionate about learning one of these trades and, might not have the resources to go to school there.
And it's specifically for students who need the most help, like ones in foster care or who are being raised by relatives.
They have the most limited resources. Once you become 18, you no longer qualify for the benefits from the state, so you could just be left out there.
Teresa Thrash of the Family Enrichment Center says those kids typically don't go to college.
And so the reason why this scholarship is so important is that you can apply up to the age of 24, so that we hopefully can get you to re-engage back in education.
So far, they've raised $10,000, and it's for students who want to attend the Trade Center at Kellogg Community College. She hopes this scholarship will honor his life and not the tragedy.
So we're glad we did it. We'd like to help keep Ty's memory alive.
And it is a good way to keep his memory alive. They are accepting applications at this time. The deadline is March 31st. And as you heard her say, you know, they are at $10,000 right now. They would love to get to $25,000. That is their goal for 2020. So if you'd like to make a donation or just find out anything about the scholarship and even apply, you can head to fox17online.com or click on our mobile app. Reporting live here in Kalamazoo, Lauren Edwards, Fox 17 News.
Great way to honor him. Thank you, Lauren. A man diagnosed with a rare lung condition nearly a decade ago, now recovering in the hospital.
What he now plans to do with his life after receiving 2 new lungs.
Here's a live shot in downtown Holland at Centennial Park where there's still a little snow covering the ground and there is a lot of cloud cover still out there. We'll see if either one of those things will change in our West Michigan forecast coming up next. Welcome to a Wednesday, everybody. It's another one of those days where we're going to sound like a broken record. Just lots of cloud cover, but at least there's nothing going on. So continued quiet conditions. Love the lights that we see out here on the Tower Cram in Grand Rapids, up about 400 or 500 feet here. Quiet conditions and dry conditions. That's always nice, and that's how the forecast reads. The first headline there, cloudy and quiet again tomorrow, a very similar day. Maybe some light rain or some snow showers coming in here Friday night, and Saturday. And then as we get into Sunday, 40-degree temperatures with maybe a little bit of sunshine. That'll be nice to see. We've had such a cloudy stretch here. As we look at live Doppler radar, there's really nothing over the inland locations, but out over Lake Michigan there, between Chicago and Milwaukee up to Sheboygan, there may be a flake or flurry out here. You might see a flurry pass through here, but generally we're talking dry conditions. Our current temperatures range from 30 degrees up here to the north, Saginaw, Elma, also Mount Pleasant, Big Rapids. We're 31 in Fremont, 32 in Grand Rapids and Holland. Matter of fact, 32 is a popular number, even along and south of the I-94 corridor. We pull out to a little bit wider perspective. There are some cooler temperatures out here to Wisconsin in the low to mid 20s. I think with the extensive cloud cover, we never really did drop into the mid to upper 20s last night. Most of us stayed more like the upper 20s to around the 30-degree mark. And you can see all that gray shading. By the way, that rain and snow that you see down over St. Louis and working towards Cincinnati, that's tracking to the east, so that's not coming this way. But extensive cloud cover remains intact for us overnight and through the day tomorrow. So we'll call it mostly cloudy, dry, quiet. Temperatures about 28 to 30 degrees for overnight lows. We'll have an east wind that'll turn southeast overnight, but that will be on the light side. That's the other good news here is, you know, we're under that regime of, even though high pressure is not clearing our skies out, that's to the north. The winds are generally very much on the light side, so at least we don't have any erosion problems out along the Lake Michigan shoreline, and that's been kind of an extended period of time here as well, so that's good news. Well, let's roll with the future track model here. This is at 9 p.m. You can see all that gray shading over Michigan all the way back out to the northern and central plains, and that's not going anywhere anytime soon. So we are talking about mainly cloudy skies here as we go through Thursday. Lots of cloud cover. We'll go Thursday into Friday, and we're still talking about mainly cloudy skies. You'll notice there's this weak low pressure system with some scattered snow showers that's going to be coming our way as we go through the day on Friday. There may be some light rain or snow showers because there's lift with this system, and you can see, but there's not much moisture with it, but there will be the chance of some of that trickling in here as we go through the day on Friday. So for tomorrow and our Thursday, we're about 34 degrees there. We're 36 on Friday with a chance of some light rain or snow showers. That goes into Saturday, mainly snow showers on Saturday. There could be an inch or two of accumulation there. There could be a little bit of rain shower activity that mixes in with that, but it looks like mainly snow showers, about the mid-30s there. And then Sunday, how about 41 degrees, breezy, but we might get in a little bit of sunshine. We're in the mid-40s on Monday. Most of the day looks dry there, but by the time we get into Monday night, a chance of some rain showers. That goes into Tuesday, a rain-snow mix, or at least rain mixing with and changing to some snow showers there, although a lot of that moisture now looks like it may slide south and east of Michigan, but we'll have the chance of that. But we'll continue to monitor that. And then we're a little bit cooler by next week, Wednesday, about 29 degrees with a few flakes, flurries, and breezy conditions. We will once again look at your West Michigan forecast coming up in the 6:30 half hour. Derek, Janice?
All right, Kevin, thanks. Man from Montcalm County getting a second chance at life, breathing through a new pair of lungs.
Yeah, his daughter reached out to Fox 17 to update us on his journey and to thank his donor. Darren Cunningham joining us now in studio with his story tonight. Darren?
Derek, Janice, Fox 17 first met with Jerry Greenhoe nearly 2 years ago, a man hoping and waiting for a double lung transplant that has finally happened.
First, I'd like to start off by thanking the donor and his family for the generosity, especially during such a difficult time.
Sarah Clevenger says she's thankful for the gift of life her father, Jerry Greenhoe, received through Spectrum Health. His wife, Michelle Greenhoe, remembers the phone call, learning his double lung transplant would soon become a reality.
He came in with the phone and he was shaking like this and telling me they had my lungs. And she still was on the phone and he goes, "Are you sure?" And she goes, "Yes, I'm as sure as I can be."
Tickle, tickle, tickle. Fox 17 first met Greenhoe in February of 2018. He told us about his rare lung condition, diagnosed in 2011 with bronchiectasis.
With heat and humidity and the cold weather changes, it makes it real difficult to breathe. So some days I don't even venture outside.
At the time, friends and family prepared to hold a bake sale and benefit dinner to cover the cost of medications for after the transplant, meeting their goal. But also at that time, they didn't know when he'd finally need to put that money to use.
Talk about what it took to get to this point.
Lots of doctor's appointments, many tests, just waiting.
Sunday, Greenhoe underwent a 9.5-hour surgery. His daughter says the 55-year-old was moved from the ICU to a regular room Wednesday afternoon.
He's doing very well. 18 hours after the transplant, he was off the ventilator. Every day he's getting stronger, and yesterday he got to eat and drink, and he's walking around his room now.
I'm still excited. When he came out of the surgery and we got to see him, he was breathing normal.
The seemingly simple things we easily take for granted. Clevenger says her father is looking to go home ASAP and already has a list of things he wants to enjoy.
Hunting and fishing and camping, spending some more time with the grandkids, just being outdoors.
The family also thanks the community for its support, the transplant coordinator, and of course the medical staff at Spectrum Health. His daughter says as he heals, the focus will be on protecting his health while his immune system strengthens. Live in the studio this evening, Darren Cunningham, Fox 17 News.
All right, Darren, thanks. Had to be amazing to get that call, too. New lungs.
Great follow-up.
Amazing. Well, still ahead, we are continuing our Forever Home series.
We will introduce you to a young man who loves sports and animals.
I care for animals, little kids, wrestling.
A caring and multi-sport athlete looking for a family who's just as active as he is. We continue our Forever Home series, working to find adoptive families for kids in Michigan's foster care system.
Tonight, Annie Zatowski introduces us to Alejandro.
Derek, Janice, Alejandro is 15 years old, and he says that he is an athlete, and that's really just an understatement. He's good at so many sports, so I thought we'd put him to the test in a not-so-traditional one. Check it out.
Archery looks easier than it really is, but Alejandro is a natural.
You gotta slow down your breathing. You gotta focus on what's going on.
Jeff with the West Michigan Archery Center helping Alejandro get started by figuring out his dominant eye.
Is your finger on it now?
No.
Is it on it now?
Yeah.
Okay, so we just confirmed 2 ways that you're right eye dominant.
And finding the right arrow length before letting them fly.
I already got the bows out there, targets out there. Let's head out on the range.
Alejandro is kind, patient, and a quick learner. From shooting his first arrow.
Pick the bow straight up, draw it in under your jaw. Now keep both eyes open. Bring it under your jawbone. Bring the string to your nose. Get your nose on the string. That's better enough. Put that red dot where you want the arrow to go. Let go.
To nearly hitting the bullseye.
That was really good.
He's a multi-sport athlete.
I played football, hockey, lacrosse, basketball, soccer, wrestling.
And says he's looking forward to the Super Bowl, even if his Patriots aren't playing this year.
49ers, they have a good defensive line, and you can't win a Super Bowl without a good line.
Alejandro enjoys his history classes and is good at caring for small children and animals, especially horses.
First of all, you got to clean their stall. You gotta groom them. They gotta be outside. You gotta feed them, and you gotta take care of any other special needs they have.
Alejandro also has big plans for his future.
I'm gonna go into the service, and then from there I'm probably gonna go probably the FBI hostage response team.
But before that can happen, he needs a family to encourage and support all of his dreams.
Someone that likes to like travel and like sports, likes the outdoors, helpful, caring, like can be funny.
So a big thank you again to West Michigan Archery Center for showing Alejandro how it's done. If you're interested in learning more about him or the adoption process, the number for Orchard's Children's Services is right there on your screen. Derek, Janice, back to you.
We wish him the best indeed.
Yeah, pretty good at archery. He might have a knack for that.
Got the hang of it pretty quickly, yeah. Look at your top local headlines and weather straight ahead at 6:30.
The only station with local news at 6:30. You're watching Fox 17 News.
And welcome back to Fox 17 News at 6 o'clock. I'm Derek Francis.
And I'm Janice Allen. The suspect who allegedly shot and killed a man in Muskegon Heights more than a month ago is now behind bars.
Marcel Robertson in the Muskegon County Jail facing charges of open murder. The shooting happened back on the 2nd of December at 6th and Hackley. The victim, Gary Phillips, was found dead inside of his car. We're told Robertson has confessed to the murder, adding that he was the only one involved. No word yet on his next court date, however.
Person of interest now in custody after a vehicle with a young girl inside was stolen in southeast Grand Rapids. That vehicle stolen just before 11 a.m. off LaBelle Street. Police say the suspect ditched the car about a half a mile away at Holland Division. Within the hour, the person of interest was taken into custody at Delaware and Lafayette. GRPD says they did bring the toddler's family to that scene so they could identify the suspect. We're told the car was left running with the child inside. It was also unlocked at the time. The one thing police hope that parents take away from this is to not do the same thing.
Even if you just think it's going to be a second, you don't know who could be around and, you know, waiting for you to get out if they just want to ride. And I don't think that in generally these situations, people that are stealing the cars are not stealing them with the intention of knowing that there's a child inside. And generally they get dumped pretty quick once they realize that. However, it's just, you know, it's not good practice to do so.
Police have yet to identify the suspect. They are questioning that person of interest in the meantime.
Well, a woman charged in her daughter's death has pleaded no contest to murder and child abuse. Tatiana Fusari entered the plea this afternoon. She'll be sentenced to at least 25 years in prison on charges of second-degree murder and second-degree child abuse following the death of 9-month-old daughter Mary, who died of malnutrition and dehydration. Monday, Mary's father, Seth Welch, was convicted of first-degree murder and child abuse. He's now facing up to life in prison. This Grand Rapids man, meanwhile, James Van Lynen, has been arrested and is facing charges of child pornography. State police say they took the 65-year-old into custody following a tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children after a search of his home. He's being charged with child sexually abusive material, accosting a child for immoral purposes, and using a computer to commit a crime.
Taking a live look over the town of Vicksburg, just south of Kalamazoo.
Kevin Craig standing by in the Weather Center with a check of the forecast. Another quiet day, Kev.
Yeah, lots of clouds out there, too. That's going to continue to be the case through the overnight hours and through the day tomorrow. Another dull, gray, cloudy day. But it is a quiet day, and that will continue for one more day tomorrow before maybe a little precip rolls in here by Friday. Good evening, everybody. Nothing on radar right now except between Chicago, Milwaukee, Sheboygan. There may be a flake or flurry there, and that's about it. Look at all the gray shading on this map. That's all the low gray stratus cloud cover that is just locked in place, and that's not going anywhere anytime soon. Our current temperatures are anywhere from 30 degrees up there across the northern country there in Big Rapids to Fremont to Mount Pleasant, 32 in Grand Rapids, Muskegon, all the way down the lake shore and along and south of the I-94 corridor. So certainly there's no Arctic air entrenched over the area. That's good news, but we've been at or slightly above normal with high temperatures. We'll be about 30 degrees at 9 p.m., cloudy skies, 29 at midnight, cloudy skies. Tomorrow morning, we're about 28 to 30 degrees with cloudy skies, and those cloudy skies will continue to stay with us through the day tomorrow as well. We'll look a little more closely at that forecast for Friday and Saturday, where we might see a light mix of some rain and snow showers coming in. We'll see in a bit with all those forecast details, Derek.
All right, Kevin. Meanwhile, it's not the weather, but several schools across the viewing area canceling classes for the rest of the week due to illness.
At least 5 schools have closed. 3 have canceled classes until next week. Mendon Community Schools announced its buildings will be closed for the rest of the week after more than 20% of the elementary school called off sick. And last night, Hesperia Community Schools also announced it would be closed for the rest of the week. Meantime, Zeeland Public Schools is now spraying disinfectant to prevent the spread of illness there. Cityside Middle School is closed through Monday after 140 students called out sick due to respiratory and stomach illnesses.
You know, the toughest day to have to shut down is Wednesday because you like 2 days is kind of good practice. Well, then do we come back on just one day, Friday, and start this thing all over again after we just clean? So we made the decision as a good team, and it would be my call, of course, but as a team, we thought let's just stay out that 3rd day and get the weekend so we can really get the place clean and be in good shape.
The other schools also say they are bringing in cleaning crews to begin sanitizing the buildings for when students return. Well, despite what she says, your mom may not always be right.
Yeah, coming up, the truth behind catching the common cold when you're not wearing a coat outside.
And the Hudsonville varsity basketball team is undefeated. Both of them coming up in sports, how the Eagles are getting it done so far this year in the rugged OK Red.
Well, a family-owned business is adding color and the aroma of popcorn to downtown Grand Rapids.
Smells so good. Mosby's Popcorn has been open for a little over 2 months off Ionia Street in GR. This morning, our team got a look inside. Rainbow, honey caramel. That sounds good. Dill pickle, hot cheese, just a few of the over 125 original popcorn flavors they have there. Store owner Chavez says their love for the fresh snack runs deep.
Popcorn's been a huge part of our life growing up, and so because of that, it kind of was a no-brainer for us. My grandmother made a homemade caramel corn at home in a metal pan, and it kind of started from there.
Mosby's Popcorn also sells retro candies and Mooville ice cream out of Nashville, Michigan. Did you know that if your mom ever told you to wear a coat, you'll catch a cold?
Yeah, doctors say she was wrong. Hate to break it to you. Dr. Dan McGee at Helen DeVos Children's Hospital calling out the old coats and colds wives' tale. He says colds are caused by viruses, and once you're sick, you get other people sick. Something layers upon layers of clothing outside simply won't prevent.
We do see more colds in the winter months, and that's because we're all inside, closed in, with the windows closed, doors closed, coughing and sneezing on each other. Also, during the cold weather, the air is drier and colder, and that means your skin will crack, the lining of your nose will crack, and that makes it more susceptible for viruses to enter.
However, with that being said, of course, Dr. McGee says you still need to dress up and avoid running the risk of getting hypothermia or frostbite. But the next time you say, put a cold on, you'll catch pneumonia, technically I won't.
Right, and especially now that it's so mild, you kind of feel like you don't need the full winter setup.
Yeah, I mean, I was always under the impression it would lower the resistance to fight anything coming at you with the, no coat, and then you'd get sick that way. It wasn't so much that it caused the cold, but it would lower the resistance.
Yeah. He's calling it
they never addressed that, actually. They never got to that part of it. But.
He did in the earlier story at 5 o'clock. Yeah, there's really nothing to it. He says you're more susceptible because you have cracks in your skin. Drier skin allows more germs to penetrate your skin.
Gotcha.
But no, it's not hiding in your body and coming out because it's cold out.
And then because we're all inside together, the germs
can't escape the germs. Right.
That's why I go through so much hand lotion, putting it on the hands and everything with that dry skin. Yeah, lots of clouds hanging around here over the next 24-hour period, or even longer than that. Good evening, everybody. Here's a bird's eye perspective of the lower 48 states. There's no real Arctic air entrenched over the Great Lakes, and a lot of times this time of the year, you might see some cold air coming in, and it's in the 20s there in Minneapolis and Des Moines, but Del Rio, Texas, 70 degrees, 76 in Los Angeles. It's in the 60s there down in Tampa, and there's nothing really cold that's coming into our doorstep here. Temperatures at or slightly above normal, as Janice just mentioned there. Here's a live shot from the Civic Center in downtown Holland. Quiet conditions there, drive pavement, not much going on. Can't rule out a flake or flurry here, but mainly we're dry. Got a little bit better chance of that from Chicago up towards Milwaukee and Sheboygan. And as we look at our satellite and radar, we can just see that gray shading that's over the area. That's all low-level cloud cover that's not going anywhere anytime soon. Our current temperatures, here's the I-94 corridor southward. We're about 31, 32 degrees in those areas. A little further to the north, 32 south side of Kalamazoo, 32 in Battle Creek, 30 in Hastings, and to the north, we're 32 in Grand Rapids, 30 in Clarksville and Ionia. And as we head up to the north, we're around that 30-degree mark as well. We probably drop a couple of degrees. We'll fall to about 28 to 30 degrees overnight. So there's not going to be a huge temperature swing between the morning low and the daytime high. It's traditionally only been about 2 to 4 degrees over the last few days. So that's where we're going here. Here's Future Track HD at 9 p.m. tonight. All that gray shading shows all that cloud cover just locked in place. We'll go through the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning. We'll stop this at 7 o'clock. For the kids going to the bus stop, temperatures about 28 to 30 degrees with mainly cloudy skies. For the daytime tomorrow, well, we're talking about another mostly cloudy day, continued dry, quiet, temperatures around 34 for the high, with a southeast to turning southwest wind that will be light. And as we go back to the map at 7 o'clock, we'll go through the day tomorrow and just confirm that. You can see all that cloud cover that's in over the area here. That's not going anywhere anytime soon. Thursday night into Friday, we're still mainly cloudy. There is a weak low pressure system that's going to be moving our way as we get into the day on Friday. That may spread some light rain or snow showers in here as we get into the day on Friday. And then another system is going to be moving on through here on Saturday, which may lead to more light rain or snow showers, but a lot of precipitation I don't see. Might pick up an inch or two of accumulation as we get into Saturday with some snow showers, but that's not that much in the big scheme of things for us. So we're in the mid-30s here over the next several days. Lots of clouds tomorrow, cloudy skies on Friday, light rain or snow showers. More snow showers, it looks like, on Saturday, but some rain may mix in at times. That's our best chance at seeing maybe an inch or so of accumulation there. Partly sunny, breezy. 41 on Sunday, 44 on Monday with some sunshine, middle 40s. That's not bad for this time of the year, but Monday night going into Tuesday, maybe some light rain showers. That'll mix with and change over to snow showers as we go into Tuesday. We're 37 degrees there, and next week, Wednesday, about 29 degrees, which is, again, a little bit below normal for that time of the year, but generally quiet conditions. As a matter of fact, it looks like a lot of moisture from this system may slide just south and east of the Great Lakes. So maybe just some rain or snow showers. That is about it. That is a look at our West Michigan forecast. How about sports now? Here's Jason.
Well, they can really hoop at Hudsonville High School. Currently, there are only 2 high schools in the state of Michigan that currently have both their varsity boys and varsity girls teams still undefeated, including the Eagles, of course. The boys team reached the halfway point of the regular season at a perfect 10-0 thanks to a gritty win at West Ottawa last night. The Eagles led most of the game until the Panthers rallied to tie late in the fourth quarter. Hudsonville got a big bucket from senior Johnny Miller, made some key free throws down the stretch to pull out a 4-point win. Finding a way to win a tough game, especially like that at the free throw line, makes head coach Eric Elliott smile because he knows it's only going to get tougher.
It's a big thing because we know the further we get into the season, the more important the games get, the tighter they're going to get, and we have to have composure. It's a big deal. You know, a road win, a win in the red is important, but to beat a West Ottawa team at home, when they're playing well, it's a big deal.
It's big for our ego. I mean, keep ahead of the conference. We're top dog right now, sole possession. We can't get too ahead of ourselves, though. We got to take one day at a time and just not look ahead.